Hey everybody, in this video I'll be talking about breakpoints and how you can use breakpoints to stop the execution flow of a particular web app. Using this, you can reverse engineer the application to perform tasks that are appropriate to your needs. Hey everybody, my name is Rahul and in this video I'll be going through a technique that you can use to level up your game on web app pen testing. So this is specifically useful to you guys if, let's say, the response that you're getting is either encrypted or you want to perform certain things that relies on client side heavily. So let's get started. Let's suppose that you get a response from the server and the response is encrypted. Now you do not know what this data could be and how it is being leveraged by the application because it is encrypted. So what do you do at this point of time? So what you can do is you can leverage something known as debuggers, and debugging can help you figure out what and how is this data being used by the front end. So what is debugging? So in general or layman's term, it is something that helps you find the root cause of issues. Let me take an example through this website. Let's suppose a developer creates a website, but when he deploys it, the website is throwing errors. So how can the developer know what is the main cause of this error and how to resolve it? So this is where debugging comes into play. So a developer can put statements like console.log, console.debug, or other print statements that will help the developer find values in each step, and then he can use those values as references to see if this is what the application is intended to do. Let's take a real life scenario. Let's suppose that I have a website and I want to see the internal workings of that website. So what I can do is I can open developer options and go to the debugger menu. There is another way that you can leverage inspect button and then going on to debugger menu. As you can see, this is the main logic of my application. This involves the front end as well as the script that is used to perform various calculations. So what is it that we are going to do? So we are going to use breakpoints to perform debugging on our application to see the internal workings of the application and leverage it for our own cause. As you can see, I have defined two variables. Now, since these are global variables, I can access them from here. As you can see, the value of A is 10,000 and the value of B is 20,000. Now, had it been complex mathematical expressions that depend on other values or variables, it would have been tough for me to find out the value of Y because Y depends heavily on A and B. So how can I find the value of Y in real time? What I can do is I can set breakpoints. You can set up breakpoints by clicking on the column number. So as you can see, the column number for Y is 15. So I'll set that as a breakpoint. The next thing that I want to see is the value of temp and result. So I'll set up breakpoints for these values as well. So how can I find these values in real time? Temp belongs to the function but but result is a function. This function is triggered when the button is clicked. So in order for us to trigger this scenario, what we need to do is we need to click on the button that is responsible for this function. So here, as you can see, I get a message prompted. It says pause on breakpoint. This occurred because we have hit our breakpoint. At this point of time, we can figure out the values of temp and result. Since our first breakpoint in the but result function is on line 19, and if you want to find the value of temp, what you can do is let it execute first because the breakpoint is on this line, and because it has hit a breakpoint, it did not calculate the value and did not assign the value to temp. So at this point of time, let us click on this button and let it execute. As you can see, at this point of time, it has executed the value and assigned a value to the temp variable, which is 10,000. This is the value of the variable temp. There is other way that you can also find out the exact value of temp by going to the console and typing in temp. Now, because the execution was happening on this function, we can find out the value assigned to different variables using the console window. Now, at this point of time, this line has executed and we need to find the value of the next line. So what we can do is just click on the next button, and now at this point of time, it has found out the value of result. Similarly, we can leverage the console window to find out the value. Our motive of finding out the values within this function has been accomplished. To find out the value of y, what we can do is Since this is a global variables are those variables that are not declared within functions. So what we can do is we can click on the refresh button, and as you can see, it has hit a breakpoint again. Now the execution has again stopped. Now this is because of the breakpoint on line 15. So what we can do is click on this button and the value of y will be executed. So at this point of time, we can also use our console to find out the value of y. Because y is a global variable, we can use console at any point of time to find out the value of y. So here, as you can see, the value of y has been returned. So using this method, you can use breakpoints to stop the execution of the website at any point of time to find out the internal workings of an application to reverse engineer it.